Welcome to the Math 1 lesson summary video for the task Interpreting Functions. This is a practice understanding task, and the purpose is to practice the following skills related to functions. And there are 5 skills that we're going to go through in this video. I've broken them down by letters. So first off, we have skill A, use function notation to distinguish between input and output values. So for this video, I'm going to be bouncing around from problem to problem. So if you'll look with me at problems 15 and 16. So since we're trying to distinguish between input and output values, it's important to consider that in question 15, it says, what is g of -3? It's important to recognize that -3 is an input. So we're given an input and we're asked to find the associated output. So at -3 input, we can see the g of x output is -5. So g of -3 is -5. On the other hand, for what values is f of x equal to 0? That's an output. So what are the inputs that give us an output of 0? And so we can see f of x has an output of 0 here and here in 2 places. So that's going to be x equals 1 and x equals 2 for f of x. So that takes care of objective A. The next set of objectives related to the purpose is to evaluate functions and combine functions through addition. So the instructions in 21 and 22 and 20 say use the following relationships to answer the questions below. We're only going to do 21 and 22. So first off, we're fulfilling objective B, evaluating functions. So to find f of 2, I plug in 2 for x. Or substitute, I should say. 3 times 2 minus 2, well, that's 6 minus 2, which is 4. So f of 2 is 4. To find g of 2, I do the same thing. There is no x to replace for the g function, so no matter what x is, g is always 8. So g of 2 equals 8. And then for h of 2, I'm taking the h function, 2 to the x, I'm doing 2 to the 2, which is 4. So f of 2 and h of 2 are both 4, but for very different reasons. Number 22 is fulfilling objective C, combine functions through addition. It says write the equation for g of x plus h of x. So g of x is 8, h of x is 2 to the x. So g of x plus h of x would be 8 plus 2 to the x. We can't simplify that any further because there are no like terms to be combined. Going down to part D, determine solutions of equations of the form f of x equals g of x from graphs and tables. So we have f of t and g of t, and in problem 9, we are asked where is f of t equal to g of t. So we're looking for the places where the graphs intersect. And so that would be at 2 t values, t equals -2 and t equals +3. So there's -2 there and 3 there for the t values of those intersection points. That allows us to answer question 10. Where is f of t greater than g of t? So in other words, where is the line, the straight line f of t above the curve g of t? And so that's right in this zone in between. Those are the places where f of t is bigger than g of t, so in between -2 and 3. So the way I would write that is -2 is less than t, which is less than 3. And those are the 2 questions that help me fulfill this purpose for part D. Going back to combining functions through addition, let's just talk for a second about number 11. f of 0 is 1, g of 0 is -5. So we're looking at 1 plus -5, which is -4. So when we're combining functions at a given input value, we find the value of each function separately, and then we add or subtract or multiply or divide, whatever the operation is asking us to do. in this case add. And then finally, our last objective is to create graphs of functions given conditions. So we're asked to graph a function that has the following features. And I'm going to start with the domain because the domain is most important for being able to know how to graph this function. So domain is from -5 to 10. So I'll make halfway be 5, all the way be 10, which means this is -5 and -10 on my scale. So I know this function is going to cover from -5 over to 10 based on the domain. It says f of 3 needs to be greater than f of 6. So 1, 2, 3. Let's just put a point that's bigger than 6. F of 1 equals 0. So that means right here we're going to have a point. F of 2 equals 4. So here at 2 we'll be at 4. F of x is increasing from -5 up to 3. So that means I could start anywhere as long as there's space for me to go up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Since I need it to be increasing from -5 to 3, it's going to be important that at -5 I start somewhere down below the x-axis so that I have space to go up through f of 1 equaling 0 as was required, and then up to the point increasing all the way, and then it can turn around and come back down and end off at 10 on the x-axis. Thank you for watching. If you need help with the Ready, Set, Go problems related to this task, please check out the Ready, Set, Go support videos in Canvas.